This is how I'm helping investors grow wealth while paying $0 in taxes through Bitcoin mining. My name is Colin Jurgensen, and I got rich off of Bitcoin, but I got punished for it. So in 2020 and 2021, I invested over $1 million of my active income into Bitcoin. And by the end of 2021, at just 25 years old, I became a Bitcoin multimillionaire. But by 2022, I had a major problem. I owed the IRS almost $500,000 in taxes. I couldn't believe it. And this is the proof. Here's my tax form in 2021. I made $1.2 million, and my total tax bill was almost $470,000. So that was one of the worst days of my life. Okay, so what went wrong here? Well, I had no tax planning, number one. I had no write-offs because I was traveling at the time. I didn't really have expenses. And I had so much unneeded stress. Okay, maybe you've been here too, right? Maybe you've made a bunch of money, but the government took a lot more than you expected. And you're probably frustrated right now. Okay. And this, when I was down bad, is when I discovered Bitcoin mining. So it all started from one introduction. My accountant, Carlton Dennis, who's one of the largest tax strategists in the United States, he referred me to his neighbor at the time in his apartment complex. His name was Jason Less. And Jason just so happened to be the CEO of Riot Blockchain, the number one publicly traded mining company on the NASDAQ. Okay. And overnight, I had everything I needed to start mining Bitcoin. Okay. Now, this is what I thought was true versus what I discovered that day. Okay. I had a lot of limiting beliefs around mining. Okay. I thought mining was for tech nerds. I thought mining wasn't profitable anymore. And I thought it was way too complicated. But after meeting Jason and his team, I found out some new truths. Okay. I found out that mining is actually for everybody. Mining is also extremely profitable. And right now, at this current time of filming, mining is actually 50% of a discount than buying spot Bitcoin on an exchange. Okay. And mining is easy as long as you have the right systems and teams in place. So mining is really a new opportunity that actually works. Okay. I didn't have to go seek out unprofitable real estate deals anymore to get a last minute write off or set up some crazy complicated tax trust structure or buy cars over 6,000 pounds that I didn't even want, which I've done multiple times. I bought a Lamborghini. I bought a Range Rover. I don't even like cars. I prefer to just Uber. I want to stack my wealth. Okay, so maybe you've been here too, doing stupid strategies to save money in tax. Okay, now look, we all want one result. Okay, we all want to make a lot of money. We want to impact a lot of lives. We want to save most of that money we make, and we want to pay no taxes, right? So I built all of that into one simple investment vehicle. Okay, and it's called leverage mining. And basically, what we do is we help investors acquire the most scarce asset of all time and write it all off. Okay, we're the only Bitcoin mining company that prioritizes tax mitigation. Okay, we're an official partner of Tax Alchemy, which is Carlton Dennis's firm since 2022. We have 92 active clients at the time of filming in July of 2025. 32 of them come directly from Tax Alchemy. We have two facilities that we're currently mining in, which is Kentucky and Texas. And we have over 52,000 terahash under management, over 260 active miners at the time of this video. Now, let me introduce you to our team. I am the CEO, and I've been buying and studying Bitcoin extensively since March of 2020. I provide massive value in education to the masses through IG, TikTok, and YouTube. I have over 500,000 followers, and I am a multiple business owner. I also have a company called Credit Class, which helps people leverage 0% credit to buy assets, and then, of course, leverage mining. This is Derek, who's our customer success representative. He's been buying and studying Bitcoin since January of 2020. We actually recruited him from Bitmain, which is the largest mining company, and he assists in strategy development for multiple massive mining facilities across the states. And he organizes tours of mining farms and he assists with custody, which is extremely important when you're planning on storing your wealth in Bitcoin. Okay, so what is Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is a hard money with a total supply of 21 million. Okay, they're not making more of it. It is completely peer-to-peer and it operates independently of a central bank. It is the single greatest performing asset class of all time. And no one, I repeat, no one has ever lost money holding Bitcoin for 4 years or more. Okay, this is the recent price chart of Bitcoin. As you can see, it's up and to the right since its inception. Okay, you can't even see the 2013 to 2014 bull market anymore. It looks like a little blip on the map. Okay, and this will continue to play out over the rest of our lives. So, how scarce is Bitcoin actually? Well, currently more than 94.7% of all Bitcoins are already in circulation, and the max supply is capped at just 21 million coins. Okay, all Bitcoin will be in circulation by the year 2140. So, what is Bitcoin mining? Well, Bitcoin mining is powered by individual computers all around the world. Okay, these miners are working together to maintain and secure the public ledger. Miners validate transactions and they get paid as a reward. And every 10 minutes, new Bitcoin is released and miners compete to win it. We win daily because of our top infrastructure and our mining pools. And the higher the hash rate, the more Bitcoin you're rewarded. Okay. So let's review Bitcoin mining and all of its characteristics. Okay. So, number one, it is the best way to dollar cost average into Bitcoin at a discount. At this time of the video, we are currently operating at about a 50% discount if you were to just buy Bitcoin spot right now because of how high the price is. Okay, we're at around $120,000. Personally, I don't want to be throwing all my money in Bitcoin this high because Bitcoin's cyclical. Okay, it has bull markets and bear markets. And this is actually the perfect time you'd want to mine Bitcoin because essentially you're dollar cost averaging over a 4 year period with each machine that you purchase. Okay, and you're generating passive income in the form of Bitcoin. So unlike real estate where you're getting paid dirty cash that is losing its purchasing power, cash has actually lost 40% of its purchasing power over the past 4 years. We're generating income in the best money of all time. Okay. We're also participating in the securing of the Bitcoin network. We're participating directly in the greatest wealth transfer in human history. And we're getting massive tax incentives, 100% bonus depreciation now applies indefinitely because of Trump's big, beautiful bill that was just passed. Okay, and my favorite part is the custody. We are no longer having to use exchanges like FTX that blew up and everyone lost their money, or use Coinbase that's subject to all of these hacks and these social engineering scams. I'm getting Bitcoin directly from the block reward, directly to my offline cold storage wallet. Okay, no intermediaries, no central banks, nothing, no IRS. Okay, it's the most secure offline system of earning Bitcoin in the most pure form. Okay, so you're probably wondering, Colin, thanks for the info. I'm just going to go off and mine my own Bitcoin. I'll just do it on my own. Well, not too fast, okay? Because this is what happens when you go alone. This was actually our first Bitcoin mining experience. We had done it in my friend's apartment, and the walls actually got filled with mold from all the heat exhaustion, okay? And it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. You definitely don't want that going on 24/7. Okay, there are a lot of barriers to entrance to Bitcoin mining. Number one is it's 220-volt power and power cost, which includes an installation. You can't just get a miner from Amazon and plug it in your wall at home. Okay, and also you're going to lose money because of the electricity it's going to use. You have to have an abundantly cheap energy at a fixed rate, which we offer at Leverage Mining at our facilities. Okay, also, like I mentioned, the sound is crazy. It sounds like an industrial vacuum cleaner. It's extremely loud. Okay. Also, the equipment and the selection and the sourcing is extremely difficult to manage. Okay. There's always new miners. You have to have reliable sources. They're all coming from China overseas. So there's a lot of things that can happen in between you ordering your miner and actually getting it in person. Okay. Miners are very complicated computers. They also have a fan attached to them, and the fan is the single biggest point of failure. So there are going to be maintenance things that you have to do. Sometimes the fan will get stuck. Sometimes you have to clean your machines. Maintenance and repair are going to be involved, and this is not something you want to do at home. Okay. Like I mentioned, we had mold issues. There's excessive heat. So you really have to have a robust environment where you're mining Bitcoin that's specifically made for these machines because the air is coming out at 135 to 165 Fahrenheit. It is extremely hot. And with all of this, as you can imagine, there is a massive technical learning curve. Okay. So as you saw what happened, when you mine alone, you're going to get mold, you're going to break the machines, right? And when you mine with us, this is how simple it can be, right? This is our Kentucky facility. As you can see, everything has been created with the perfect environment in mind for mining. Okay, these are some of our racks here. As you can see, everything has been created in a way that is so efficient for the best mining outcomes. Okay, so why leverage mining? Well, like I mentioned, we have scalable fixed energy contracts. Okay, we utilize industrial power at our Texas facility. We also have wind turbines as well, and we also have that at our Kentucky facility. We have a partnership with Blockware, which is a mining company that started in 2019. They're a massive mining business. They're raising their Series A right now. We have two full-scale locations, and we have 10-year relationships with the best hardware and pool providers, Bitmain and F2 Pool. I received direct mentorship from Jason Less, who's the CEO of Riot Blockchain, which is the #1 publicly traded mining company on the NASDAQ. And we have 24/7 on-site technicians and 24/7 direct oversight of your machines. So what's better than Bitcoin, right? Well, paying no taxes on Bitcoin is the absolute best thing in the world. And that is what you get with leverage mining. So leverage mining clients last year alone saved $2.3 million in write-offs. And in 2025, we're on track to double that. And I want you to be a part of it. Okay, so like we talked about, you get 100% write-off with Bitcoin mining. Our clients utilize Section 179 to write off 100% of the purchase price of their machines. And then they get a 100% write off on all the other business expenses like the electricity, the maintenance, and the setup. And then clients receive a 5 to 6 figure tax write off upfront in year one. And clients hit their ROI typically in 24 months on average. Okay, so I want to show you some dollar for dollar tax savings. And these are examples from some old packages that we had. So for example, to make it an easy example, we have 5 miners for 102,000. Now, to get the dollar for dollar amount, you would just times it by your marginal tax rate. So if you're a high income earner in the US, you're going to be taxed at 37%. So you take 102K times it by 0.37, you're looking at almost a $38,000 for dollar tax savings off of your tax bill. Okay. Now, are you tired of a lack of transparency in your investments? I know I was before I found Bitcoin mining. I could not find an investment that actually was reliable and worked without issues. Okay, so I want to compare Bitcoin versus real estate. Bitcoin, we know the supply is capped at 21 million. When we look at real estate, we don't know the supply. There's new homes being built every single day. The supply is constantly diluted. Okay, we know the inflation rate on Bitcoin. It's measured. It is actually verifiable. It is 0.83% per year. And next decrease is going to be in 2028 in the halving event. Okay, the inflation rate on real estate is completely unknown. Okay, the cost to mine one Bitcoin today is $70,000 on average. It's actually lower right now. Okay, that's why I said you get a 50% discount to buying Bitcoin spot. Okay, this is so imperative that you're mining Bitcoin, you have exposure to mining because you're getting this massive deep discount on your Bitcoin. Transparency in real estate, none, right? And also the cost to build a house today costs $284,000 to build a home. You can get into Bitcoin mining for much cheaper, and to depreciate real estate, it's over so much longer of a term. Whereas Bitcoin mining, it's in 1 year, right? And in the last 10 years, Bitcoin mining in the last 10 years, Bitcoin obtained a 50% compound annual return. And in the last 10 years, real estate only had a 10.3% compound annualized return. So obviously, Bitcoin is the clear winner. And so many real estate investors are stuck in the past with real estate, right? The boomers, our parents, and I'm sorry if you're 50, 60 years old watching here, you guys got the real estate deal. We didn't, right? You got to buy your home for 200 grand and now it's worth 1.5 million. We don't get that opportunity. That was your opportunity. This is the next generational opportunity. It's Bitcoin. Okay. Now, this is the complete oversight that you are offered with Bitcoin mining. There is no having to, call into your property manager or set up ring cameras to see what your tenants are doing or worried about missing a payment from your tenants. No, everything is verifiable and confirmed inside of your mining pool. You get to see your miner's uptime. You get to see if there's any downtime. You're hit with notifications if anything happens. You see when your total payout is. You see when your next payout is, all your revenue, all the block rewards mined. It is complete oversight and full 100% transparency, which no other investment offers. Okay. Now, I want to bring up a true example of an ownership package from one of our past clients. Okay. This is Jack, and Jack bought a $50,000 package, which at the time was 500 terahash in January of 2022. And Jack broke even on his investment in 24 months. Okay. So as you can see, that little pink line, that's his US dollar value. And when it hit the zero yellow line, that is when he broke even right at that 24-month mark. Okay, so now Jack has been mining Bitcoin for essentially free, right? If he wanted to sell off the Bitcoin to pay his initial investment off, he could do that. And now he's free and clear for the next 2 years because all of our mining contracts go for 4 years. Okay, now I want to go over some secrets about mining. Secret number one, miners are wealth building machines. Right, we talked about how fun it is to make a lot of money, but can you keep a lot of money? Okay, the answer is probably no. If you're earning over $539,000 in the US, you owe 37%, which is almost 200 grand of that to the IRS. So realistically, you're only netting 340K. So instead of paying that 200K to the IRS, you could deploy that capital in the Bitcoin miners. You receive 100% tax write-off in year one, and you get all that capital back in Bitcoin over the next 4 years, which is the hardest asset of all time. Okay, your Bitcoin stack increases and you put more money back in your pocket. Secret number two, mining Bitcoin doesn't have to be hard. Okay, you don't have to destroy your house like my friend Connor. Okay, you can mine with a team. It doesn't have to be difficult. It is only hard if you go alone. But mining with us is 100% automated. You pay a one-time fee up front. You go through a simple onboarding process and you start receiving your Bitcoin rewards instantly. There's absolutely no hidden monthly recurring fees or no profit splits whatsoever. What you see on your contract, the one-time price, is all you pay for 4 years. Okay. And secret number three, Bitcoin mining is never going to be banned. Donald Trump's a supporter. We have institutional grade capital, trillions of dollars rushing into Bitcoin through IBIT and all of these institutional ETFs and products. Okay, so there's no more saying, oh, what happens when the US bans Bitcoin mining? That's done. That conversation's over. Okay, Bitcoin actually powers and stabilizes the energy grid. Gas companies are actually now investing into Bitcoin mining. Texas, Pennsylvania, and Wyoming have already invested hundreds of millions of dollars into Bitcoin mining infrastructure. And as I said, Trump, the president of the US, is a massive Bitcoin bull. Okay, I wanted to show you the articles that I saw from America's first industrial nuclear powered Bitcoin mining center in Pennsylvania. And Exxon is actually mining Bitcoin as part of its plan to slash emissions. Okay, the biggest companies are mining Bitcoin. Okay, so we have incredible investors. Not only are you going to get an incredible product, you are getting access to an incredible network of high level, high income earning entrepreneurs. Okay, also, if you're a high paid W-2 earner, this is a perfect opportunity for you to start your own business and get a tax write off and mitigate your W-2 income. Okay. Robert took advantage of the write-off. He said he's never missed a payout, and it's a great team for when he needs questions. He says, what more could you ask for? If you want mining in your portfolio, it's a no-brainer. They're doing it right. Okay, we also have Mike Hoffman saying that it's been a great investment, and Tom Self said it's been a super fast onboarding and was mining within 1 week of paying. He also had a great time with Derek, our customer support rep, on his onboarding process, and he got the right wallet picked out for him. Okay. So real quick, I want to touch on some additional benefits before I tell you how you can work with us potentially. Okay. So one of my favorite benefits is there's no platform counterparty risk. Okay. If you ever lost crypto in FTX or Voyager or Celsius or BlockFi, okay, you don't have to worry about that anymore. My data personally was exposed in a Celsius bankruptcy court. Okay. They had my email, my wallet address, the amount of Bitcoin I had. So stop risking your life savings with the criminals. You don't have to trust anyone. Okay. You just verify. Okay. Bitcoin mining earns Bitcoin directly from the block rewards, which is the real pure source. Also, I love that it's KYC free. Okay. Who knows what the governments do behind doors with the exchanges like Coinbase? Okay. If the SEC or the IRS or the government requests any of your information from an exchange, they're going to give it to them without question. Okay. Exchanges take down your address, your social, your phone, your email, and then you're getting hit with all these social engineering scams where they make you think that they're the customer support reps, and then you're sending them your Bitcoin and it's never seen again. Okay. You don't have to deal with this ever again. You're fully discreet, fully offline. Okay. And my favorite part is you get the dollar cost average. Any investment that you do, any long-term investment, you should be dollar cost averaging into it, right? You're signing up for the long run. You're signing up for life. You don't want to just make a one-time buy. Okay. So you don't have to time the market anymore. You're going to spend more time in the market and you win when you become a long-term investor with a low time preference. Mining dollar cost average for you into Bitcoin over 4 years. So you're going to catch all the highs and lows. Okay, a perfect example of an opportunity only miners got to take advantage of was the China mining ban in 2021 when the difficulty adjustment dropped 10%. Miners got to mine so much more Bitcoin during that time period. And of course, the best part is the tax write-off, right? Our clients utilize Section 179 to get 100% of the purchase price of the machines written off, and you end up receiving all the money you invested back in Bitcoin. You know, our average ROI with all the data we have from our 90 plus clients is 24 months. Okay, so you receive a 5 to 6 figure write-off upfront, and then you receive all that money back over 24 months, and you're mining for a total of 4 years. So essentially, you're getting double gains. So with all that being said, if you are a high income earner, if you're looking for passive income 100% hands free, and you're looking to save money on taxes this year, then this investment is for you. So here's the process to potentially work with us if you qualify. You're going to write down any of your questions, okay? You're going to then book a call by clicking the button right down below. You're going to finalize your package with me or someone close to me on my team. You're then going to sign the contract we send out to you. You'll pay the contract price via wire, and you go live in 4 weeks or less. You are mining Bitcoin and you have a Bitcoin mining business. That is a massive tax write-off. Okay. So if you are interested in working with us to see if you qualify, please go ahead, write down your questions, book a call down below. Make sure you show up in a quiet room. Make sure you're not driving. Make sure there's no distractions around. Have a pen, a paper, a notepad. We're going to be doing a Zoom call, and I can't wait to meet you. I'll see you.